do it again?
Hello, how's everyone doing? As I always say, I hope that everyone had a fruitful as well as an eventful day. I have some downloads for the collective. So as of lately, I've been having dreams, and I haven't really been able to capture them. And I noticed because I began to realize that I weren't able to kind of hold on to the dreams, because I would effectively think that I could memorize it or I didn't have to copy it. And I began writing them down now, so it's more effective. So I'm feeling as well as any of you. If you are having vivid dreams, begin to record them, like as best you can, a little bit at a time. But try to record the dreams that you're having. So I'm going to grab water so I can purify. By water, I connect with spirit through pure intent. So I'm going to jump right into the downloads. These are sleep state downloads. It's my first time ever writing them right out of my sleep state. I normally wake up and I'll try to hold on to them. So I immediately woke up and I grabbed a pen. And as I began to write them, Spirit began to give revelation. So I woke up irritated at the light being on. I noticed when I woke up from my dream state, I was thinking that the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. I don't know why that thought was on my mind, but when I woke up from my sleep state, I had that thought on my mind, so I recorded it. Then number 3, I had guard your sacral chakra energy. So I began to think, sacral chakra, what could that mean? What guard it? Like, what was Spirit saying? So it led me to number 4. Thank you. So when I got to number 4, it said, orgasmic energy is a weapon used against you in the astral realm. I said, wow. So I'm going to back up. I woke up thinking that the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. That was my initial thought. When I woke up, the light was on. So, when you wake up out of your sleep and the light is on, you wake up kind of irritated because you really, it's a part of your mind that never really sleeps. When the light is on or when you have a television on, like I just went through that this morning, like when the television is on, you don't really sleep. Like it's a part of your mind that doesn't really go off, so to speak. So, as I went to the bathroom, I noticed that I was having urges. Now, I was waking up out of a sleep state. So when I got to the bathroom, I noticed I was having urges. So I felt the need to guard my sacral energy, right? What we think. Orgasmic energy is a weapon used against you in the astral realm. Now that was kind of serious because when you are in a relation, when you have intercourse, you have sex, when you have a release, when you release, you go in a relaxed state. But in that relaxed state, you also leave yourself exposed and unguarded, right? Your energy becomes open, right? And inside of your mind, particularly, when you are in the astral realm and you're having orgasmic energy, meaning like a wet dream energy, it lowers down your guard in your brain. It lowers down your guard in your mind. I'm not talking about your mind that you may be familiar with. More or less, your subconscious mind. It puts the guard down. When you're in orgasmic energy in the astral realm, it lowers your guard, right? And what it does, see, wet dreams produce a release it relaxes the guard around your mind. Like, where you may be strong in your mind when you sleep. All right, let's just say for a person. You may be having dreams of a person. In your dreams, it may be a sexual state or it may be a sexual energy. Well, when you release in your dream, in the 3D most likely, but it's going to be from a dream state, it relaxes the guard around your mind. The reason why is the lust that we have when we in those states, it actually drives the protection angel away, which would be the angel Raguel, right? The lust of your dream drives him away from his normal position, meaning it leaves you perfectly exposed for people to astral travel into your brain and do different things in your energy when you have wet dreams, so to speak. Number 3 download. Beware of jar spells. Guard your semen. Your semen has the raw protein of the divine. All right, so this would be for my men. So there are particular spells that people can, like women, witches, for instance. Like you have dark witches, or you have voodoo priestess, or you have different aspects of people who deal with different type of witchcraft. Well, as a man, you have to guard your semen. Reason being, and all right, I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios. Let's say you dealing with a woman that has an entity attachment. An entity attachment means that it can simply mean a woman that's attached to a man that got her mind, but she laying down with you, right? See, in this exchange, this is what can happen. This is what happens from an energetic standpoint. But I'm talking about a person that really knows this happened. When a woman lay down with you and you of the divine, and your seed is of the divine, right? When you ejaculate your seed into her, that's your sacral energy in her. So if a person, let's say a high-tech wizard or something, and this a trigger warning because this is reality, it's spell word. When that woman can leave you and go back to that man, and he could effectively do whatever he need to do to so he could that's great. Oh, that's just my spirit face. But shaman, bro, like you gotta look up the word. When back to jaw spells, I was disrupted for a minute, but when we get back to jaw spells, if that woman can go back to that man with your divine seed in her womb, your sacral energy, it can affect you in many different ways. One way being a jaw spell. Anything that your semen may be on, they can take that particular thing, right? Any type of way that they can get it. They can take it and they can freeze it. They can put it in a jar, right? It's a very powerful spell, particularly if you weak and you have vices. They can actually take, let's just say, a cloth with your semen on it. They can take that, and let's just say you drink a lot of liquor. They can find out what kind of liquor you like. They could get so much as a shorty of liquor, right, to infuse a spiritual bond. They can put the shorty of liquor in a jar with your clothes with semen on it, seal it, right, and that can begin to be your vice. And in the 3D, you will run around trying to get away from the liquor, but you won't be able to because you'll be bound by what's called or known as a jar spell. If you of the divine, you have to understand that your semen has the raw protein of the divine. Meaning, if you a divine masculine, right, then if you ever laid with a woman and watched her literally change, brighten up, glow up, that's what happens with your semen, right? Your semen is the seed of the divine, but it's also the protein of the divine. So you have like I came into contact with a very powerful lust succubus spirit, and I named it a Jujendi, right? It's a particular type of spirit. It's a form of a succubus, and it actually can feed off of the protein of the divine masculine. A lot of women do that. That's why you still have to be careful when you're dealing with oral sex with women and all of that. Any energy that you transfer, like having oral sex with a woman, you get the same transmission as if you go in her vagina. You may not get, it may not be as potent for as diseases, but when we talking about sexually transmitted spiritual afflictions, whichever way you connect with somebody, with your energy that's vulnerable, it's your sacral energy. That's the reason why, see, when you're dealing with your sacral energy, thank you, Spirit, that's the reason why most diseases that attack us, viral infection and we most vulnerable there. Why? Like, you ever thought about like venereal diseases? Why they only transfer through that part of our energy? Is it the exchange of bodily fluids? It could be, but you could swap saliva with some people and not get the same type of infection. I tend to believe that it increases the potency of it because of the sacral energy involved in it. Like, when you open up your sacral energy, that's the sacred part of you. Like, you're very vulnerable. So when you go to land with people and you're a divine masculine, you gotta realize your seed is divine. Number 7. This is specific. You have to fight against the faith of the practitioner with the power of the divine. All right, and that's Spirit says kind of break some of this down into layman's terms, right? All right. When you are a person and I'm trying to see how I can phrase this because I don't want to say it in a spiritual way. It may not be relevant. All right, fighting against the faith of the practitioner. All right, so listen. When somebody puts an energy out to knock you off course or spell work or anything, because some people mistake spell work for people cooking up. Spell work is when people go behind, when people do things to harm you with their mouth. It's wordcraft. So it's like, it's still a form of mindcraft, it's still a form of magic, depending upon how potent the person is. Like, some people can push a rumor way harder than others because they have a bigger energy. You understand me? Like, if something comes out of one person's mouth, it's going to hold greater weight than if it come out another person's mouth. That means that that person has greater word craft, so that the words that they use, it can be spell work. Now, I'm talking about for actual things that are pit against you spiritually. You have to fight against the faith of the practitioner. See, real evil people that do things to you or against you, they know that evil has a process. So the first thing that they have that a lot of times we lack when we fighting against particular evils is patience. See, evil knows that it's a process. Us as light workers of all, you weigh your own heart. You know what you are, right? Now, when you a person of a certain type of status quo, you expect that you're gonna be protected. You know, in the energy of the Bible, it says, many are the afflictions of the righteous. So that means that you have to expect to be at war, at battle. You have to be expecting to be afflicted. The evildoer doesn't view life like that. They don't look to be afflicted. They don't ever think about being afflicted. They think about afflicting others, right? So when you dealing with somebody that effectively is into afflicting others, that person will often be patient, way more patient than you, because they watching for the process. See, even spell work, it's a process. So when a practitioner does this to you, you fight against the faith of the practitioner. How? By being strong in your divinity. Because see, this is what, when you talk about spells backfiring or people sending evil energy that you send back, it doesn't get sent back by happenstance. It gets sent back by your stance, the way you stand in life. That's what diverts evil energy, spell work, and all that. Is the way you stand. When you stand against the faith. Remember, the practitioner or the evil energy sender, however you want to put it, the person that sends the evil to you, they are waiting for the evil to go through the process. So they're going to be more patient, right? Remember, the energy is at you. So you won't be able to find the patience. You understand me? Like as a person of light, you're not looking for the fight. You can't fight the patience of evil. The energy of the Bible said, when I would do good, evil is always present. You know what that means? That means that saying right there, evil is enduring as patient. When I would do good, evil is always present. It also says the righteous man is beset on all four sides by iniquity. You know what that means? That means that no matter what, evil going to be more patient than you're going to be. So you can look at, that's like, thank you, Spirit. That's like looking at life and waiting for everybody that ever did you wrong to pass away. You're never going to see that. You may, but it's a high probability that you won't. So it's not valuable to ever look at evil and try to, you don't play with evil by trying to be patient with evil. You have to, when you're dealing with evil that's against you, you have to set a mandate with divinity. Right? Why? Because your protection in the 3D going to come from your protection in the 5D. That's the only way it's going to go. If you weak in the 5D, you eventually going to be weak in the 3D. It period. It's because, all right, make it relevant. Okay, Spirit says make it relevant. If a person's sitting back and they patiently waiting for you to crumble, and you set your mandate with divinity, that means you're going to constantly rise, right? So what is that going to do? It's going to affect the patience. See, the weapon of the evil is patience, particularly when there's spell work involved. Now, when you stand, you effectively kill the patience of evil. Evil gets erratic. You know, thank you, Spirit. You ever irritated somebody's demons? And you know how it happened? Once you ever touch the core of somebody, then you ever work with somebody, right? And you know damn well you don't do nothing to them, right? But just say you a divine, you a child of the divine, so you find the shit funny, like you find it funny that you irritate a demon. But I want you to look a little deeper. You ever notice how when you irritate a demon, you only got to touch that chord one time to irritate them every time they see you? Ain't this ill? Like, meaning like when you touch that chord, when you finally irritate a person demon, right? You don't ain't gotta touch it no more. Every time they see you, they demon rise up. Because why? That's dominion. You effectively reverse their own energy on them. See, because the person who demon is irritated about you, they always the person that already sat in silent and built the irritation. It didn't come out of nowhere. They been didn't like you. They been wasn't never for you, right? And see, thank you, Spirit. I was thinking about a witch that casts these kind of spells. Let's say the witch say, have a great day of the damned, right? But that's the chant that the witch say, have a great day of the damned, right? But when she see you, she say, have a great day. And she still say of the damned in her mind. And you say, thank you. It may not seem like it, right? But do you realize how powerful that energy exchange is? That's how you should be vigilant when you affecting something that's standing against you. As vigilant as a dark witch sending an evil chant is the way that you should be about your energy source. You should be the same way. Like, you should have a chant, honestly, as a divine, this is a level of divinity that might supersede the church house. So if you really enter the Bible, or you really stuck a certain type of way, or whatever your religion may be, I don't want to offend you, but you know what a good divine chant would be? Like, you could say, good morning, how you doing? But in your chant, you could be saying, get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face. Please get the fuck out of my face. But you could be saying good morning. And you can actually use that as an energetic type of, I'm telling you, the way that you won't realize just how powerful energy is until you effectively in a situation where if it's going to require you to recognize it. Some of us don't. Like, we really don't get it, right? Alignment. Oh, wait a minute. Spirit said go back to this. Okay, the faith of the practitioner. The faith of the practitioner or the person that's posed anything against you, they have faith that what they did will work because it worked before. So, the power of the divine, it fights against that faith that they have. I was having the Baphomet vision of the Baphomet and the people that deal with the Baphomet, right? And those that know what it is, right? Baphomet, however you want to say it. But this is a particular type of energy that assists men, right? Men, they like to tap into this energy because it's very much, it's a secret and hidden thing. Occultists know of it. And they tap into the energy of the Baphomet, and they make deals with it, right? They do things with this energy. And the people that deal with this energy, they never ever realize that when you in the world and you dealing with people that's light and they full of divinity, a lot of that is not going to work on these type of people, right? And that's for a specific kind of people that know exactly what I'm talking about. But you have to really be aware of things that you don't know about. Particularly my divine masculine. Yo, in this world, if a woman nowadays is dealing with the sex trade, that's on the Latino side or Caribbean side. Yo, if they in the sex trade, they in the spell work. Like, if you like strip clubs and all of that shit, and you still doing that, just understand, you probably under spell work. That's what they do. And it affects your life. Like, it really does. I've seen people get affected by spell work and lose their home, lose their marriages, because they under spell work, bro. Like, and they don't get it. Like, for instance, thank you, Spirit, for my divine masculine. You ever been you ever dealt with a woman that you know might have been from that life, that walk of life? And I mean, this for my stronger divine masculines that been around. And you may have found yourself drawn to this person, but when you look at them, you know damn well they not for you, right? But you like, man, right? And always remember, when they do the spell work in a certain type of way, it's very powerful once again through your sacral, right? So, especially Oshun spells where they do shit with the honey, suck you off and channel over you, it's wild, it's very ill. But how it plays out in the 3D to us is you may be just drawn. You might be in a house at night and this might be one particular chick you always drawn to it. And then after you bust, you really be like, man, why am I even around this, bro? For real, this is crazy. But you find yourself right back. That's spell work, bro. Like, that's not normal. It's not a normal rhythm, but it's what you ignore. And then you have to be aware that some women, thank you, Spirit, as far as when you're dealing with witches, right? Witchery and high priestess energy, it comes in a woman's bloodline. I'm talking to divine masculine for a minute, to be aware. Like, when you're dealing with witches, right? Like, you have this, bro. Like, some women, they don't know what the fuck they doing. They say they witches, but they might have all the spell books in the world and be checked with the reading, but the power not on them. Now, you might have a woman that don't know shit about nothing, right? But it's in her blood. And she could be out here just doing powerful shit, not aware of it. Why? Because it's on her blood. And see, that's what, thank you, Spirit. Like, a lot of warlocks and witch covens, they look for divine, particularly divine females. They like to use them as altars and things like that. But they prey on women that got pure witchery in them, but don't know it. See, witchery is from your bloodline. Like, when you dealing with the ancestors, right? When let's say a high priestess transition from this life, that energy go back among your ancestors, right? The crown of high priestess energy and all these type of wonderful energies, witchery and all that, it gets bestowed by the ancestry. The ancestors. It's an ancestral gift. Like, that's why some people have the potential, but they don't reach it. It's because the ancestors don't give it to potentials. They give it, the ancestors give these types of energies, man or woman. They give these type of energies when they deem you worthy. They give it to you. It's been like that since ancient times. Nothing is different. It's the same old thing. High priestess energy, witch energy, all these energies, like, they are energies that's given by ancestors. Most cultures know this. That's why the Babalawo will throw Opili stones, because they divine in a way with the ancestors, right? Almost every high priestess divinties. Remember in the Bible, they had back in the old days, they had a temple, right? And inside the temple, they had a particular room that was known as the Holy of the Holies, right? Now, what the high priestess did was, he could go beyond that veil into that room. He or she. They could step into that room. Nobody else could go into that room. They could go into that room is known as the Holy of the Holies. So they're going there, and they're divine a word from God for the people. They'll come back out. It's the same thing. Without the temple, they was going into their ancestral energy. They tapping in to their ancestors. That's who give you the rhythm, your ancestors. Each and every time. Don't ever let nobody tell you nothing different. It don't matter what you're dealing with. It's going to be in reference to your ancestors and the fact that they communicate with you here, now. They influence you. Like I said, thank you, Spirit. In every negative habit that you have, right? And this, I'm speaking of negative. In every great habit that you have, now I'm speaking of great, there's an ancestor that inhabits either one. Every taste that you like, there's an ancestor that inhabits that taste. You got that from that ancestor. So every time that you feel that ancestor feel. Why? Because our ancestors, they us and we them. And they're going to inhabit. Now, so what is the balance? The balance is to not be led by your lower ancestors. Like, you have ancestors that's trifling, childish, ratchet, every last thing you don't like. And they'll drive you if you allow that to happen. But you also have royalty. And when you tap into your royal ancestry, that's when your gifts are given. Whatever it is that you're supposed to do, outside what you think you're supposed to do. Because let us be told, we only can see with our eyes, feel with our hands, smell with our nose. That's all we supposed to do. That's what we taught. But boy, oh boy, when you get in touch with your ancestors, it's a different thing. You will feel your intuition become way more stronger. Yeah, some of the things you do, they may make people learn, but it's going to be on point. Remember, the connection. You got to remember the connection to your ancestors when you're moving around. It helps you be more aware. What are ancestors? Ancestors are energy. Everything is a form of energy. Once you understand that, you understand your own energy. Nothing ever dies. Like this, this is going to pass away. Have you ever really felt yourself and felt and known that, yo, I ain't just this. I ain't this, I feel like anybody that ever came from where I'm from, you should know, because we was forced into the soulless aspect. Why? Because we came up around people, when you come up in urban environments, thank you, Spirit, one advantage that we have, you come up around a lot of souls that have been around for a long, long time. Older souls, they always in our neighborhoods, the decadent place. They are effectively the kingdoms of heaven when you look at it. That's where the jewels lie. All the jewelry, it lies around in places in the 3D, thank you, Spirit. Like the places where it's broken glass at. If you can see in the spirit, though, that's where it's jewelry at. Why? Because it's powerful ancestors all around. You ever notice how the same old things happen in the hood? In the hood, what happened? The same old thing that happened when? It repeats itself because it's the same old ancestors. It's the same old spirits lingering. It's essentially the same old thing when you get to understand the 5 deep perspective of things. Number 9 download. It was Serge. Spirit told me Joshua's story. Joshua. So I was like, Joshua's story? And Spirit said, yeah, Joshua's story. So I'm going to go with it. So what's the story of Joshua and what happened? Okay, see, when you look at, and thank you, Spirit, this goes for initiations, right? Of all sorts spiritually, right? When you look at the energy of Joshua, like a lot of other chosen ones, who initiated Joshua? When you look in the book of Joshua, it says that the energy of Christ actually reincarnated itself as the commander of hosts in the militant set, in a sense. See, a commander is military presence. The Bible says the commander of the hosts, right? Not the Lord God, the commander of hosts. And you know what he did? He came to Joshua. It was around like in the month of April, right? Somewhere between April and May. And he came to him off the river, off the bank, right? And you know what he told them basically? I'm going to need you to effectively put the tribes of Israel in regimes and get them ready to go fight wars. So Joshua was like, but we only supposed to pray. Remember, under Moses, they only prayed. They never fought. They just prayed. Everything that happened, they was told to pray. So the energy of Christ came in a different energy and said, Christ came in this energy. All right, the commander, I'm going to need you to organize the 12 tribes of Israel so y'all can get ready to fight. So they fight, right? They organize. But you got to look at it in the 3D. What did that look like? So, first of all, Joshua's initiation came from the energy of God, Tetragrammaton, Allah, whatever you want to call him, right? It came from that. So, divine being, if you haven't been initiated with divinity, I don't give a fuck who gave you what. Anybody, Babylon, whoever, if you haven't checked out with the divine, then you need to check where you stand. Because initiation from the divine is not the same as somebody initiating you on this earth and all of that. It's not the same. See, when God got a purpose for a chosen one, he going to come, that energy going to come to you in whatever way to you, not through third person. It's going to be a confirmation. See, thank you, Spirit. The reason why the energy had to come to him like that as a commander, right, and not the savior. See, remember it was saying Elohim was the savior. Now he comes as a commander. And in the 3D, you got to think of it. If I'm saying, all right, go make weapons to fight, but all you know how to do is pray, the first thing you're going to do as a people is be like, man, why we got to fight? We don't know nothing about that. So you got to realize, in order for Joshua to be able to deal with that, he had to have confirmation from source. Whereas though it's like, no matter what they about to do, already got the word from source. That's the way you got to move in your divinity, divine being. And you got to realize what happened. Think about it. I want you to really think about this because this is a difference. Is a particular place in the Bible where Joshua wanted to go to war and knock down Jericho. They supposed to go to war. They fighters now. But you got to realize they the same old tribe that only pray. So now we get to the point where they at Jericho, nobody really don't want to fight. They don't want to fight because they don't really know. They think they don't know how. No matter how much that God say fight, they like, well. So it says it speaks of Joshua telling the sun to be still. because they was indecisive. See, the sun going down, they don't know what they, so it says that he just shut everything down and made the sun stand still, which is a powerful energy, right? When you break into it, you can really see a detail of what that's saying, right? But that's also saying that light will prevail. You know, they had to go on one accord and make a noise because they wouldn't fight. So they did find assistance from divinity. But in Joshua's story, the most important thing to take from it is that if divinity moved one way, that one way can't never say divinity can't move in another way. That's what happened right here. See, Moses kind of had, people think that, you know, I love Moses, but Moses was fucked up. See, Moses had a fucked up mind, like, I can't change the way I am. That's why God told him you can't go in the promised land with that fucked up attitude. So because he was incapable of change, he never seen the land of Canaan. He never saw it. He was forbidden to go into it. Joshua went into it. And then he never really taught Joshua what to do because he wouldn't have saw it, Joshua. It's kind of, when you look at it, it's like one transition to another. So when you in your ascension or your awakening, as you begin to go through this phase and this energy, understand you may be taking your dynamic of faith in a more powerful way that God is moving you in. And you can't slow down and listen to what they still saying in the era of Moses when you're supposed to be moving in the rhythm of Joshua. Like, a lot of times it's not, like I say, it's not the time to be down like this. It's the time to be up, vibrating. You need to be vibrant, right? If you pray, it's fine to pray. But also learn how to pray on your feet. Learn how to pray in the energy of being up, woke. Always advise ancestral contact, right? Ancestral meditations, white candle meditations, they help you. They introduce downloads into your mind. And the last one is for divine feminine. It's hard for divine feminine to move forward in her full potential without feeling the security guard around her loved ones. The security guard being a powerful ancestor. This is a divine feminine nature, right? So if you are dealing with a divine feminine and she doesn't feel like you have the ancestral protection, you might have issues because she needs to feel the security guard around her love. Meaning, if a divine feminine, if you're dealing with a divine feminine, right, you need to be grounded because she's going to be looking innately, right? If she a true divine feminine, she might not express this to you, but her actions going to correlate with what I'm saying. If she a true divine feminine, she's going to be looking for the security guard around you. That's the ancestor. I just call them the security guard because they the ones that guard us. So when you got a divine feminine and she protected, she going to be looking for that. Once she see that, she can move forward. And in the 3D, she going to look for the security guard around it. Like, she going to look for you to be, if nothing else, secure in your manhood or in your masculinity. If you really secure in your masculinity, it's going to produce motion. No matter what. Only insecurity produces stagnation. If you secure in whatever aspect you stand in, if you stand secure in it, you gotta move from. You're gonna have to move in it. It's gonna make a way for you to move. Because you won't never feel secure unless you're moving. And that's a valuable lesson that I had to learn on my own in life, that I shared with you. Be secure. let's just say I'm secure that I can make some money, but I'm not secure with who I am. My money gonna wane eventually, because no amount of money gonna outlast true security of oneself. Not you can give a person all the money in the world, it's not gonna outlast the security level within themselves, whether they insecure or secure. The balance of that don't come from nothing in the 3D. That's 5D shit. So as you begin to be more confident and secure in that aspect of who you are, it moves forward. Like, and a divine feminine, a true divine feminine, is not like a divine masculine. See, a divine masculine, we can kind of move forward with a sense of uncertainty, right? I guess it may be like the personality of the masculine, right? But the personality of divine feminine, if the ancestor not there, she gonna feel it around you. And for a woman that's protected, a divine feminine to be around a divine masculine that's not spiritually protected, is not her ancestor. They're not going to allow it. They won't allow it. It won't go right, and it'll be evident that she's being protected. You know, like, it happens a lot. Spirit says you'd be surprised how many times the divine feminine gets hooked up with the karmic. And it go through a series of things where it might look like they fight a lot, they battle a lot, but a lot of times, you know, it'd be a stalemate because of the divine protection around divine feminine a lot. And I can say, speaking for me personally, right? Some men can correlate, some can't. I've been in relationships where I wasn't aware that a woman was protected by, she had security guards, as far as her ancestors was concerned. And, you know, not being aware that you can jump in with a woman and call yourself trying to take advantage of them sometime. You know, as a man, you know, you've been there in life. We all have. But think about the backlash that you may have went through when you did that, because our ancestors were security guards. I know I went through, I went through a terrible ordeal one time in my life, dealing with somebody who had a powerful security guard around them. And then as far as their ancestors, I didn't know then, but I know now. I took a hell of a whipping. So always remember, the divine feminine is going to always find it hard to move forward without feeling the security guard around her loved ones. Oh, and that goes for as well. Like when with children, right? When a divine feminine, true divine feminine, can sense that it's not protection around their children, they might seem like, and this is for divine masculine. This is for, like, you might be dealing with a woman that may have a child, and it may be a little bit of dissension there. Like, it might be, like, maybe sometimes you see where the child need to be reared a good way or a better way, and maybe she won't allow it due to past trauma or whatever it may be, whatever the case. But try to help her understand that the security guard is there. Like, because see, sometimes when women feel that their children lack spiritual protection, or the ancestors might be having a miscommunication, the woman will check out of the relationship, so to speak, because the divine feminine, they can feel ancestral aspects. They feel deeper with their hands. They may not be able to explain it. Like, nobody said that. That's why divinity is blessing the world with people like myself. We can kind of explain it But a soul relationship is a relationship that you're going to have with your ancestors, whether you like it or not. They always going to be there. So it's probably best to find a way to get in touch. You know, like a lot of people do past life regression sessions. They charge you like $5,000 for those things, $3,000. It's called past life regression. Psychotherapists, they give it. Most of them be occultists. They understand the rhythm of astral travel. So they'll put you in a meditative state. But see, it's dangerous when people put you in meditative states and they charging you money. That can lead to a lot of mishap, in my opinion. So if you kind of listen to me and kind of like vibe out a little bit, it can help you in life. Because the ancestors, they there. No matter how you look at it, they there. They guard, they protect, they crush, they bruise, and they banish. Well, I think that was it. That was 10 downloads. So we're gonna have I'm gonna get off this thing right now because I still got some more work to do tonight. But we're gonna start doing like brief energy check-ins on TikTok. But we're also gonna start having myself as well as High Priestess. We're gonna be doing combined sessions on YouTube. We're gonna be uploading to YouTube. Yep. Definitely can situate that for you, young queen. So with that being said, just be on the lookout for TikTok, and myself and High Priestess, we're gonna start combining, and we're gonna be posting to YouTube. And we are available for tarot/energy readings, as well as ancestral altar readings. I put the ancestral altar together myself. I've been out there, initiated the altar with the ancestors, so it's a pretty good flow of communication. I actually did an ancestral read. We did one the other day, man, and it was real deep. Like, people were able to hear from their ancestors, and you could just feel the connection. It was real deep. So for those of y'all that, you understand, if you know, you know. But anybody that may have an ancestor that you may want to contact or you may want to get in contact with, I have a particular altar set up for that. I got a direct channel, so we could definitely tap in. And other than that, we here. This is the Elemental Beings channel. I am the Hierophant, and I'll see you all soon. Amen, Ashe, as well as amen.